The air was warm, carrying whispers of distant voices through the vibrant streets of Rajagaya. Beneath the sacred banyan tree, the Buddha sat peacefully, his gaze steady and timeless. I knelt before him, my heart heavy with doubts that clung to me like shadows. "Master," I began, my voice trembling, "how do I face the fear that I am not enough for those I love?" The Buddha smiled gently, his eyes holding an eternity of understanding. Fear clouds the heart, but within it lies the path to acceptance. He gestured for me to sit beside him, his presence a balm to my restless soul. "Listen, and I will share wisdom that nourishes like the rains bless the parched earth." The disciples gathered, their silent respect amplifying the potency of the moment. Imagine a potter shaping clay, each vessel reflecting their essence, yet judged harshly by those who receive them. The Buddha paused, his voice serene like the waters of the Naranjara river. "She labors tirelessly, chasing approval that is as fleeting as shadows under the midday sun." He turned his gaze toward me, his words deliberate yet flowing with ease. "Unconditional love does not demand perfection. It blooms from acceptance of imperfection." I felt his wisdom fill the air, each word a thread weaving clarity into my tangled thoughts. The potter, bound by fear, approached me seeking solace from the torment of inadequacy she had built in her heart. His gaze softened as he narrated the woman's story, each detail painted with vivid compassion. She grieved over her work, lamenting how her creations failed to please others. The disciples leaned closer, engrossed as the Buddha shared this parable of sorrow and realization. I told her to release her grip on expectations, to see beauty in the devotion she poured into her art. The banyan's leaves rustled, underscoring the profound lesson that resonated in the space we occupied. Her labor became an offering, not a transaction. Through acceptance, she discovered the essence of unconditional love. I felt the resonance of his teachings vibrate deeply within, challenging the fears I carried like burdens. To love others without condition requires you to first free yourself from the cage of expectation. The Buddha's words hung in the air, tangible and weighty like the blessings of rain. It is not in striving to prove worth that love is found. It is in embracing the truth of being. Tears welled in my eyes, not from sorrow but from the release of wounds long hidden. "Master, how do I begin to practice this love that you speak of?" The Buddha's gaze met mine, steady as the mountains. Filled with compassion I could feel ripple through my soul. "Start by forgiving the shadows that haunt your thoughts and weigh your heart with fears of inadequacy." His voice, profound yet gentle, guided me through the labyrinth of self-doubt. Unconditional love begins not in the world outside but in the soul within that yearns for truth. His wisdom unfolded in vivid simplicity, accessible and radiant. "You are enough, even in your brokenness, because love does not calculate worth. It simply flows." The disciples shared glances of awe and reflection, their hearts absorbing the eternal truths imparted. Anand, love is a river. It does not cease, nor does it flow to earn approval. It is infinite. A silence enveloped us, profound and alive with the echoes of timeless wisdom. To those you love, offer your heart not through mastery but through honest presence. I held his words tightly within me, each syllable illuminating the fog I had carried for far too long. Release the fear that you must prove yourself. Just love, Anand, and find freedom through its essence. The leaves of the banyan seemed to dance in agreement, nature itself harmonizing with his profound truths. You are not inadequate, nor are you insufficient, Anand. You are a vessel of boundless potential for compassion. The Buddha's teachings settled in the depths of my soul, leaving traces of peace where turmoil had once thrived. Master, your words bring light to places I had not dared to explore within myself. He nodded, a subtle gesture that carried the power of reassurance. Explore. Anand. For within you lies the truth you seek. Veiled only by fear. I bowed deeply, my gratitude beyond words. My heart stirred and awakened to the path unfolding before me. Thank you, Master, for your wisdom and for the love you offer so selflessly. The Buddha's serene presence remained as timeless as the truths he had shared. Do not thank me, Anand. Walk the path and become the embodiment of these teachings. The disciples began to disperse, their hearts reflecting the transformation sparked by the Buddha's profound lessons. The banyan tree stood witness, its roots deep and unwavering as though grounding the truths spoken under its shade. I rose, my burdens lessened, my soul alight with the beginnings of understanding and acceptance. Walking away, I felt the river within me flow freely, unbound by the fear of inadequacy. The Buddha's teachings lingered in the air, eternal and alive, waiting to blossom anew in those seeking truth and peace. Another day, another journey began as the Buddha and his disciples walked through the serene hills surrounding Gaya. The morning air was crisp, carrying the scent of blooming jasmine and the gentle rustle of leaves. Among the disciples was a woman named Priya, her eyes shadowed with doubt and longing. Master, Priya said, her voice trembling with vulnerability, I feel I have failed those I love by not meeting their expectations. The Buddha turned to her, his expression calm yet deeply compassionate, as if he could see into the depths of her heart. Priya, let us sit by the lotus pond and reflect, for in stillness lies the wisdom we seek. The group settled beside the tranquil waters, their reflections rippling softly with the breeze. The Buddha gazed at the blooming lotuses, their petals radiant against the muddy waters from which they rose. Do you see how the lotus thrives, untouched by the mud that surrounds it? He asked, his voice resonating with timeless truth. Priya nodded, her gaze fixed on the flowers, her heart yearning to understand the lesson hidden within. The lotus teaches us that beauty and purity can emerge even from the depths of struggle. The Buddha continued, it does not strive to prove its worth. It simply is, and that is enough. The disciples listened intently as the Buddha's words wove a tapestry of wisdom, each thread imbued with clarity. Priya, allow me to share the story of Nyan, a farmer who once came to me with a heavy heart. The Buddha's voice carried the weight of ancient wisdom. Drawing everyone into the narrative, he began to unfold. Nyan was a man of great diligence, tending his fields with love and devotion to provide for his family. Yet one season, a storm ravaged his crops, leaving him with nothing but barren land and broken dreams. Priya's eyes glistened with unshed tears as she imagined the farmer's despair, a mirror of her own fears and struggles. Consumed by guilt and shame, Nyan came to me, feeling he had failed as a husband and father. The Buddha said. He could not see the love that guided his every action, only the weight of his perceived shortcomings. The disciples exchanged glances, their hearts touched by the shared vulnerability of Nyan's plight. I told Nyan that the storm, though powerful, could not extinguish the essence of his love and effort. The Buddha explained. He was not defined by his harvest but by the seeds of care he had sown in his family's hearts. Priya leaned closer, her breath caught in the profound simplicity of the Buddha's teachings. To love is not to control the outcome but to embrace the act of giving with an open heart, he said. This is the essence of unconditional love, free from the chains of expectation and fear. The lotus pond shimmered under the sunlight, its beauty a testament to the Buddha's words and the truths they carried. Priya, you too are like the farmer, striving endlessly to meet expectations that are not truly yours to bear. The disciples sat in thoughtful silence, the weight of the Buddha's insights settling into their minds and spirits. You cannot be everything to everyone, nor should you try, the Buddha continued, his gaze steady and unwavering. Your worth is not measured by what you accomplish but by the love with which you live. A single tear rolled down Priya's cheek, a tear of release as the burdens she carried began to dissolve. Master, how do I let go of this need to prove myself to those I love? She asked, her voice filled with both yearning and hope. The Buddha smiled, a gesture as gentle as the breeze that stirred the lotus petals. Begin by accepting yourself as you are. For in self-acceptance lies the foundation of unconditional love, he said. You are already enough, Priya, just as the lotus is enough in its natural state of being. The disciples felt the power of the Buddha's words ripple through the group, each finding echoes of their own struggles. When you act from love rather than fear, you liberate not only yourself but also those around you, the Buddha added. This liberation is the gift of true love, unbound and infinite like the river that flows endlessly to the sea. Priya bowed deeply, her heart lighter than it had been in years. The weight of striving replaced by the light of truth. The Buddha rose, his serene presence a reminder of the timeless wisdom that could guide even the heaviest of hearts. The group continued their journey, each step a testament to the teachings they carried within, woven into the fabric of their souls. Another day, another reflection began as the Buddha sat by the serene banks of the river Naranjara. The water flowed gently, mirroring the boundless sky above, a constant reminder of the infinite nature of existence. Among the disciples was a young man named Suman, his heart weighed down by feelings of inadequacy. Master, Suman said, his voice trembling, I struggle to see my own worth. I feel hollow and unworthy of love. The Buddha gazed at him, his expression calm yet filled with an infinite compassion that seemed to embrace Suman's every word. Suman, the Buddha said, his voice resonating with profound serenity. Sit with me and let us explore the truth within. The disciples gathered closely, their hearts yearning for the wisdom that the Buddha would impart in this moment of shared vulnerability. The Buddha gestured to the river, its currents weaving a story of continuity and transformation. This river flows without ceasing, unbound by the expectations of the earth or the sky. His words were gentle, yet they carried the weight of eternal truths that could shift the foundations of a soul. You, Suman, are like this river. Your essence remains constant, even as your path twists and turns through the obstacles of life. Suman listened intently, his heart aching for clarity, his soul yearning to understand the wisdom hidden within the Buddha's metaphor. The Buddha closed his eyes briefly, his presence serene and unwavering. Let me tell you a story of Rati, a painter burdened by the fear that his work was unworthy. The disciples leaned closer, the anticipation palpable, their hearts ready to receive the teachings bound in the story. Rati painted scenes of breathtaking beauty, pouring his emotions and soul into every brushstroke. Yet he never shared his work. The Buddha paused, his gaze steady, allowing his words to settle within the minds of those listening. He feared judgment, believed his creations were inadequate, and kept them hidden from the world. Suman's eyes reflected the pain of recognition, his struggles mirrored in the painter's plight. One day, a friend of Rati discovered the hidden canvases and shared them with the village. The Buddha's voice softened, the rhythm of his words perfectly attuned to the currents of emotion flowing through the group. To Rati's astonishment, the villagers celebrated his art, moved by the depth and emotion captured in every stroke. Suman leaned forward, the weight of his struggles momentarily forgotten as he absorbed the transformative power of the story. Rati realized his work had always been enough because it reflected his heart, not because it met external standards. The Buddha turned to Suman, his gaze steady and full of warmth, like the sun breaking through clouds of doubt. Suman, unconditional love begins with the acceptance of yourself, just as the river accepts its twists and turns. The disciples nodded, their hearts resonating with the profound simplicity and truth of the Buddha's words. When you embrace your own worth, You free yourself from the chains of judgment and fear that bind your soul. The Buddha's voice carried the cadence of eternity, each syllable woven into the fabric of the moment. Love, Suman, is not a transaction, it is an essence that flows infinitely. Unbounded and pure, Suman bowed deeply, his heart stirred by the truths revealed. His soul awakened to a path he had not seen before. The Buddha smiled gently, his presence serene, his words still echoing in the minds and hearts of all who listened. Suman, the Buddha said, his voice tender yet profound, the love you seek begins with you, and it is already within you. The disciples rose, their hearts lighter, their spirits transformed by the timeless wisdom they had witnessed at the river's edge. The Buddha remained by the river, his gaze fixed on the horizon, his teachings a beacon for those seeking truth and peace. His words lingered in the air, eternal and alive, waiting to blossom anew in the hearts of those willing to walk the path. Suman departed, his steps filled with purpose, his soul alight with the essence of unconditional love and acceptance. During my travels, I encountered a farmer named Javaka, who was burdened by his relentless attachment to his land. Buddha paused, allowing his words to settle in the minds of his disciples. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.